morning, Shelpers. Thank you for joining me for Vampire Crawlers. When last you left me, I was going into the curd refinery, but I have been grinding some money just to make sure we have enough. And I've gotten pretty much everything here that I want. Not sure that luck is going to help me all that much right now, so we can just go in. I hope you all had a wonderful week, and for those of you in the United States of America, you are going to be doing the whole 4th of July thing probably, if that is your bag, tomorrow. A lot of people have like a 3-day weekend. I hope you do something fun with it. If you do, we're not doing anything for tomorrow. We're just staying home and we're having tacos, but that's about it. So, which is okay. The 4th of July is like Golden Wolf's birthday, the one who doesn't talk to me, so that's always a bit rough, but what are you gonna do? So I do want to let you all know that I have completed the objective, and you will have the last summer gaming showcase footage or whatever that... Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. I just I didn't know I was getting another one so quickly. Well, I guess it worked out anyway. But yeah, I do have it ready to post for Sunday afternoon around 2 o'clock Central. So if the program thing works or scheduling thing works for YouTube, it should be fine. If not, I do have it scheduled. I can't say if YouTube's gonna behave itself. I re-recorded the parts that were awful. Husby helped me figure out which ones you could actually still kind of hear my voice on versus not, so it worked out okay. Boy, these things are a lot beefier than they were in the last round of this thing. That's okay though. Thank you. I appreciate you, my dove. He's been helping me out a lot with different stuff around here. It's been a lot trying to get everything ready and done, but like I said, I finally got it accomplished. So I did not say greeting Shelpers on my video, so for those of you who like that I do that, you're gonna be a little bit weirded out because I never not say that, but we weren't sure if I was gonna like record like the one segment over again or not, and here I didn't, so all we can do is just forge on. But I always think it in my head even if I never say it. So yes, I'm using Pugnala, the one that's OP. I've never gotten like the large version of the garlic in this game, and I know there has to be one, so I'm kind of like, what's going on here? But it'll be fine. Yep. It's probably like a specific weapon tied to a specific crawler. Maybe Grandpa Sweaty Balls. I don't know. I've used Grandpa Sweaty Balls before though, and I just haven't seen it, so your guess is as good as mine. And I don't look it up or anything just because I'm curious, so. I don't really like fireworks. I love how pretty they are, but I don't like the sound of fireworks because due to my disability, I have a high startle response, and that sucks ass when you're dealing with loud noises. And I mean that in the worst possible way. Like, I tense up, and since I have chronic pain, it's not good. It's honestly not good. We're gonna wait on that heart until we have more of a combo going. That way we can get the most good out of that. All right. Yep, worked out fine. Like I said, I got pretty much all the level ups I can get right now that are gonna work out for me. And yeah, I could just sweep through and like hit the auto turn, but sometimes the auto turn does not work out for me. Sometimes it seems like the auto turn is just kind of they don't stack it correctly or whatever, so I'm not the biggest fan of it. And I need to get the most bang for my buck to kill stuff that's difficult, so I don't know if those of you who are into gaming, which should be most of you on my stream at least somewhat, saw it, but Sony is going to get rid of physical games. And we all knew this was coming. Some people were like, well, I knew, I could tell. Yeah, everybody could tell, okay? They've been trying to get you onto just digital only for a very long time, and I don't blame the indie companies because a lot of them really can't afford to do a physical release. So, but then you have places being like, well, like 80 to 90% of people buy physical or digital games, not physical anymore. And it's like, here's the problem with that though. If I have a collection of games and someone is in my house and they take my physical games, I could sue them. I could have them arrested. But if Sony comes in and says, hey, we want all those movies back, we're not going to give you a refund. But when you paid full fucking price for a game or a movie, you said it was okay that you're only indefinitely renting them. So, fuck you, basically. And it's like, well, what the fuck? Like, you could get in trouble for doing that to someone physically, but digitally, it's like you don't own anything. That you will own nothing and be happy. And why are we paying full price for things that we don't own? That makes no fucking sense to me. I will not be happy with the whole digital only for a few reasons, and then somebody will be like, well, Toluca, when's the last time you bought a physical game? Tamagotchi Life 2, motherfuckers. We bought that physically for me. We did not buy that digitally. I did not want to buy that digitally. I am not... When I can get a physical game, I tend to do that. Except if there is a good reason, like, well, this game didn't come up physically, now did it? So, there are a lot of reasons I do or don't do what I do. And that's one of the things I'm wondering when they say, oh, well, you know, digitally everybody buys it now, and it's like, are you looking at the ones that have both types of thing available? Like, did you look at if, like, let's say Forza. If Forza came out physically and digitally, right? Did you look at the fact that 90% of people or whatever bought it digitally over physically? Or are you looking at, like, sales overall, where some people don't have a fucking choice but to buy a game digitally? So, with Nintendo taking away retroactively the ability to system share games online, and they were gonna fucking take away the ability to share, period, and then they were like, well, we can't do that, so what we're gonna do to appease you is just the online games you can't share, which sucks because one of the only good reasons for going digitally when you had somebody to play games with was that you could play games with them and system share. So in order to make everything okay for me for digital, they would have to not be able to take it away once you bought it. Like, once it's yours, physically it's yours. Once it's yours digitally, it should be yours. None of this, you're fucking renting it indefinitely. No, I paid 70 full fucking dollars for a game. That's not a rental. That's a fucking buy. I don't fucking care. That's a lie. So another thing they need to fix with that is if you have system share, you keep it. Even though I know that's going to be an uphill battle because, you know, Steam already has it to where you have to have multiple copies to play with someone and so on and so forth. So we're going to lose that fight. But also, you should be able to lend a game to anybody that you have on your friend list. When Nintendo did digital games, digital game cartridges, I was actually like, okay, let them cook a second, because I thought for half a minute they were going to say anybody on your Nintendo Family Plan or on your friend list, since it's digital and you can do it anywhere in the fucking world, that you would be able to lend a friend a game. I was excited because like Shy Guy, my mod, is on my like family plan because he's like a little cousin, and I was gonna be like, yes, I can like lend Shy Guy my games and shit, and like Shy Guy and I, you know, we don't live close. And then it was like, haha, fuck you, you thought. And it's like, hey, what is the point of this then? Because you have to be like right next to someone to lend them a game. And you could say, well, Toluca, dumbass, you also need to be close to somebody to lend them a game. Not true. I could send Shy Guy in the mail a physical copy of a game to borrow. Yeah, it would cost me postage and time, but still. So locking it behind a wall like that, when you're, you know, forcing us to do the online or, you know, digital game cartridges, there was no reason to do that except, of course, to fuck people over who are system sharing and whatnot. So if you are going to be the kind of company that forces me to have digital only games, you better not be able to take them away. You better be able to let me lend them. Also, you better let me sell them. So there better be a digital fucking storefront where if I get tired of your stupid ass game, I can go to that digital storefront, sell my digital game like I could sell, like at GameStop or whatever, my physical game. And you should have it so that I can set the price to my digital game. Yes, I know it would be out of my library once I go to sell it. I'm okay with that because that's how it goes. But if, you know, we're doing this the right way, there should be a digital storefront where I can set the fucking price. So, and I know they're not going to give any of that to us. They're not going to let us lend it to anybody online. They're not going to let us, because if you could borrow it or lend it to somebody for, let's say, 2 weeks, you could start your own little side business of like digital rentals, and they would not fucking want that because, again, they want to control every fucking thing you do. So it's wild, but it's not surprising. So those 4 things, where if you already had one, you know, same system share, you let us keep that. You can let us lend games to whoever we want on our friend list, since it's all digital anyway. You can let us sell digitally our games, and you can't, the biggest thing is you can't fucking take them, you can't fucking take them away from us. Like, shame on you for that one. Sony is doing that to like hundreds of movies right now. People who bought movies on their system like Terminator 2 and shit, it's like, well, fuck you. You can't fucking, you know, keep them. And it's like, you bought them. And I know it's like, when do you sign up? Nope. I'm sorry. When I go to a store and I buy a copy of Terminator 2, they can't just fucking cold cock me and knock me the fuck out or tase me, bro, and then take them out of my house without, you know, some kind of backlash. So, no, I don't agree with any of that. That is so anti-consumer, that sucks nuts. Okay, what am I gonna take here? I can evolve my axe if I take this. I probably should have taken more mana R, but I don't know. We'll see. Oh, an arcane chest. Okay, put all the crawlers to the top. Okay, repeated cards this turn are free. Oh, nice. Sometimes I get more than one. We'll see how that pans out for me, though. I might not have a build for it quite yet, but never hurts to look. And yeah, I try to take down all of the critter ditters because it helps me with the whole... Oh, damn. Okay. Only one's going to attack me. I can live with that, I guess. But yeah, if I only do the one critter ditter thing, it's helpful to get more money and experience as you go along in the dungeons. So that's why I make sure to try to like kill everything. We'll see. Nice. But yeah, here Sony was doing the thing where it was a few years ago where it was like how to let your friend borrow your game, and here it was just like them like handing a game to each other and them being like thanks, and now they're the ones doing this. I really thought it would be Microsoft with all their poor fucking decisions, but never underestimate how much they're one-upping each other. It's like watching two frat boys try to fucking outdo each other by getting drunk and then hitting on the chicks. It's like, okay, you made an ass out of yourself, now what? So it's really sad. And I don't foresee going into any console gaming next gen. I don't see myself getting freaking Switch 2 after the whole same system restriction they pulled. The thing that pissed me off the most is they retroactively implemented it. I've said this before, but it's worth repeating. I got my Switch thinking that Husby and I would be able to play Mario Kart on the same copy because we system share. So for them to like go backwards and be like, well, about that, if they tried to switch it over for the Switch 2, granted I wouldn't have been happy, but I would have been like, okay, I kind of see it because you're making it so that in the new system that's what matters. But no, they went back and said to the people who bought games and everything based on the fact that you could system share, you can't do this anymore. And that means that I can't trust them because I went into this with the idea that I could system share. So now that I can't, it's like, fuck you. Like, what else are you gonna take away? Not only that, but Nintendo is shutting down the old stores really fast. So like the 3DS store was like taken down like lickety split. So I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not dealing with that shit. So I foresee me being primarily retro and indie, a retro and indie gamer moving forward because of how much fuckery the big companies are doing now. And none of them are free from it. There is no company where it's like, oh, this is better. At first I was like, oh, Sony must be better than Microsoft, and then Husby said, you don't remember that. You must not remember that Sony got rid of their, like, a lot of their devs, like, what was it, last year? And I was like, no, I didn't remember the Great Purge from Sony. So, yeah, about that. Even though I will stick to my guns and say, we have a PS5, like a base PS5. It was not fucking worth it. It was absolutely not worth it. Husby's PS4 was not working the best at one point. So it was nice to be able to play like the Sony stuff together that was on the last gen by getting a new one. But as far as like if the PS5 was worth it, Shulper's not for my family. Like the amount of exclusives and stuff they have, like, no. So sucks balls, but it's true. And like I said, with all their policies changing and stuff, yeah, Microsoft said they need to get gamers ready for when it's a privilege to fucking have hardware. And their response to that, or their way to fix it for us, the wonderful people that they are, is to say to us, well, you're gonna have cloud gaming, and your cloud gaming is gonna have ads in it. And it's like, fuck you. Honestly, fuck you. Cloud gaming isn't even that good. I can't even tell you how many people I've seen have top of the line internet and then have a horrible experience cloud gaming. And that should not be the case. And you know they're gonna give the fucking ads priority. Tell me I'm wrong. So the ads will load up like smooth as butter, and then your game will be like, and then 5 minutes later something will happen. Probably a crash. I don't know. It's wild. I you know, every year I want to say it's a great time to be a gamer, but every year they take that away from me. And I am so displeased with so many things that are going on in the gaming industry. So I don't know how many like first party titles I'm gonna buy. And that's sad because I do like Horizon, not Forza Horizon. I like Aloy's games, and that's like Sony exclusive and whatnot. And I grew up with Nintendo, so seeing them fucking falter like this is sad for me. And you're gonna be like, falter what? They're like one of the biggest gaming companies. Yeah, here's the thing, somebody has to be the biggest gaming company, right? So the fact that Nintendo's the biggest isn't, if it's not them, it's Sony, no physical media, or it's Microsoft fucking all their fucking devs over. I mean, it has to be somebody who's like the biggest dick in gaming. It doesn't mean anything. And it's kind of heartbreaking to be a gamer right now. But if you didn't like fucking indie games, I think you'd be screwed. Indie games are like saving the business. I will say that over and over again. They're the ones making things affordable. They're the ones, you know, trying to bring innovation to people. And indies are saving it. And if I were a developer, I would not try to go to Sony or any of the other big companies. A lot of people who loved, you know, the idea of being a developer for like Sony and shit, please don't. If you're a developer going in, please go indie now. Hi, Shy Guy. Long time no see. How are you? Yeah, ExpressVPN for voluptuous polyamorous nannies. Well, I know what you were searching up the other night. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, I'm so sick of what they're doing to the games industry. Like, absolutely. But it's not surprising either. Okay, I don't have enough to open that up. I just think it's sick. And they think we're suckers. They think, well, we've been around long enough and they like us, so we can do whatever we want to them. No, they can't. I mean, yeah, enough people are gonna stand for it where they're gonna be fine, probably, but... And I know part of the hardware price increase issue is fucking AI, and I've talked about AI till I was blue in the face, and nobody wants to hear Toluca's AI ranting again, I'm pretty fucking sure. But fuck AI, it's fucking everything up. But another thing is, even if they didn't have to increase the prices, they're going to. Because companies will be like, oh, really, we have to do $100 price increase per console. But then they're going to be like, wait, we can just tell people because of the RAM issue, we need $300 more per console. When they really don't. How are we going to know? That's the way it's been with like the tariffs and everything. Because so many companies are like, you know what, we'll just use the tariffs to say, that's why your Happy Meal at McDonald's went from like $7 to like $12 because of the tariffs. They're gonna hide behind like that kind of bullshit forever. I'm sorry you've been in misery. Yeah, summer sucks ass. We've been having we've been having 90 here, and I know that's nothing for certain parts of the country and whatnot, but that's warm for us. Like, we have our air conditioner on like all the time right now. All the time. I do not like summer. Summer does not like me. I know we need it from like a growth standpoint for the crops and shit, but I'm just like, I'm over it. I can't help myself. I get heat sick. But yeah, they think they have us by the balls. Oh, they'll do what we say now and whatnot. And they're gonna give us no alternative pretty soon. Like I said, I'm gonna end up being strictly a computer gamer and doing like indie games and stuff. The Steam Machine, I've been seeing stuff about it, and there was a whistleblower that was talking about how the Steam Machine was not up to the capability they claimed. So people were like, nah, they're lying, they wouldn't do that. And afterwards, they had to come out with a statement that was like, we can do up to 4K. And it's like, oh, so they weren't lying. They actually had to back off their like 4K 60 FPS plus claims because they were claiming that at the beginning. And after people started talking about it, they were like, well, shit, nobody's gonna believe this shit now. And because it's true, it wasn't up to snuff. Wild, just wild. And there was like a box cover or something like that was coming out and everybody was hyping it. And they're like, look at this cool thing, and here it doesn't work with the Steam Machine, so you can't even use it. But yeah, the Steam Machine is, the specs are not good. The specs are not good at all. Like, it can't even match a base PS5. And at first they were like, yeah, it's fine. I think we have been. I mean, summer is always like hectic for us, but like we finally got stuff squared away for our lease renewal. I do have a tentative date for my rheumatology appointment as my hands get worse. And the rheumatologist is backed up till fucking November 3rd. So I took the earliest appointment they had. They're like, well, we could potentially get you in earlier. And I'm like, yeah, but I have to take a specialized van service in. So you can't just say to me, oh, there's an appointment tomorrow. It will never fly. So, yeah. But at least I'm getting somewhere with it, I guess. I don't know. It's a long while away, but I've waited longer. I think I might have mixed type, like, autoimmune disease. Because I've been reading up on mixed type and I have, like, different symptoms from different types of autoimmune bullshit or connective tissue autoimmune disease bullshit. So I might have the mixed type, so wouldn't surprise me if I did. Sure. That'll be a permanent one, so I won't have to get that out of my deck every time I just want a +1. But yeah, it's been a lot with gaming and stuff, but I've seen a lot of great indies still, so like I play a lot of indies on this channel, as you all know. We might start Cat Quest 3 next week. I'm not sure. I'm torn between like several things, but Husby and I can play it together again, so I'm considering that still for the next thing. Yes, the Undead Labs thing. I even talked about it at the end of my fucking Summer Games coverage that's coming on Sunday afternoon. I talked about the Undead Lab being on the chopping block, and like I said, they are on in the video. I'm like, they're basically getting rid of every like exclusive franchise they have, but basically 4 of them. And I might be exaggerating, but not by fucking much, let me tell you. And the 4 they seem to want to come over are Halo, Forza, Gears, and COD. It seems like if you're not those, like, fuck you, you're screwed. And yeah, I'm not happy about that at all. Weird, I know. Oh man. Oh great, someone's starting with the fireworks tonight. I was hoping it would be tomorrow. If I start yelling god damn it, it's because I'm starting to jump, so we'll see. Oh man, look at you. Oh boy. Okay. We're just gonna do this one, and then we're gonna, yeah, poke him over there. That's right. It'll be fine. Okay, is he away from me? He can't attack me yet, but now he can. Oh, 10 each time. I'm so lucky. The garlic sometimes moves them away from me, so... But yeah, and the whole physical media thing for Sony is just... So much of this stuff has my fucking knickers in a twist. I am I'm so not happy. You know, and that's another thing. They want to set the price for everything. They don't want you to be able to like sell your copies, because when you sell your game, they can't get money off it. And they want to be able to sell and for how much they want. So what I mean by that is they want to be able to be like, okay, this one particular game can never go more than 30% off, and so on and so forth. Yeah, exactly. It's so messed up. Like I said, I'm definitely not gonna be buying next gen consoles, I don't think. Not after all this bullshit. Could I be wrong about that? Sure, but I don't think so. Nintendo has pissed me off. Sony has pissed me off. Microsoft has pissed me off. The fucking Steam machine is not even as powerful as a base PS5. Not even a PS5 Pro. So like, why would I buy a console? Like, tell me that. Why would I buy a next generation console? For what, God of War? I'm not a God of War fan. And a lot of people don't like where they're taking the God of War franchise anyway. But I am not a fan of God of War. I am not a fan of Forza. I'm not a fan of Gears. Like, maybe it's because I like too few games overall, but I don't know. I just feel like the indie scene is doing more important stuff anyway. But yeah, I would have preferred not to be like fucked out of, you know, gaming and stuff, but we are here. But there's a lot of indie games out there. I don't even buy a lot of games on anything but the Steam store anymore. And I think Steam's gonna fuck us over soon, and I'm not sure how yet. So, because Steam itself has a lot of anti-consumer and anti-gaming company stuff. Yes, exactly. They're not worried about getting us and keeping us. They think they have us. And I gotta tell you, I've had like some of these gaming systems in my house forever. My first console to be fully my own, meaning I didn't have to share it with my older brothers, was the fucking PlayStation 1 when it came out with the Slim. My first one was a PS1 Slim. And I finally was able to have just a few games myself, and I didn't have to share it with anybody. And that was such an amazing thing for me, because when you are a household with limited funds and your mom has multiple kids, you end up having to kind of get games via committee. So if my brothers wanted like the latest greatest RPG or fighting game and I wanted a platformer, well, unless my mom wanted to play the platformer too and everything was more divided, guess what we got? We got the thing that more of the kids wanted. So I was always kind of, unless we all agreed, up against what my brothers wanted, because unless one of us was getting a specific game. So yeah, my first ever solo machine that wasn't a handheld was a regular like a PS1 Slim. So yeah, like I said, Microsoft put out a thing recently that said we need to prepare gamers for when owning hardware is a luxury. And I'm like, well, it kind of always was. I'm not saying like the same amount of fuckery happened, but like if you're really poor, you can't afford like the latest greatest consoles all the time anyway. But they want to fucking slide into your ass with cloud gaming with ads. That's like their idea. And I'm just like, I have had a fair amount of, you know, decent internet speed now for a while. And cloud gaming still is not optimal. But you bet your ass, you absolutely bet your ass, that the fucking ads will load up like nothing. You will have chugs and jugs over and over for the actual gameplay you're doing. You'll try to be jumping in a platformer and you'll fucking die because it will have fucking lagged. But you betcha the Mountain Dew ad you get right after your death is gonna pop up with sincerity and the quickness. So, yeah, no. I'm just getting so sick of it. Unbelievably sick of it. But that's what I was gonna say, that's what I signed up for. None of us signed up for this shit, let's be real. They're just pulling the bullshit they want. And like I said, they're also using the whole ram thing to ram us and say, well, we had no choice but to make everything $500 more expensive. When they probably didn't have to update it or make it that expensive that quickly. But they'll be like, yes, we did. And since we can't really see their breakdowns, we don't know if they're, you know, lying to us and just making us pay even more than we should be. Which everybody's hurting right now, so financially. Yeah. Anyway, my little $10 indie games are so nice. At least I know they're not trying to fuck me over unless they're lying about using AI, which is a whole other thing. And the person who is like one of the bosses who owns Epic was like, the disclosure clause for Steam fucks over indie games that might not have a chance if they have to disclose AI. And it's like, for one thing, if you really believe in AI and you believe it's the future and everything, why are you hiding AI? Why can't you just be like, yeah, I'm an early adopter, and even if you don't like it, you're the ones that are going to be left behind? I mean, they're calling people who don't want AI, generative AI, Luddites, which I've always jokingly called myself anyway. But, you know, they're sitting on their high horse going, you guys are so stupid. You don't realize a good thing when you see it. It's such amazing technology, and you're going to be sad that you didn't do this and all that. If they truly believe it, why don't they stand on business? I'm serious. Why don't they stand 10 toes down and say, yeah, we do this. Yeah, we think this is amazing and it's gonna, like, rule everything and whatnot. They don't, though. They try to hide it. So it's like, but if you really do believe it, stand on your convictions here. Prove how wrong I am. And it's because it still hurts their bottom line. And they know it does. They know so many people still don't like AI. They want you to think everybody uses it and everybody likes it. And that's just not the case. So. Right? But it's like, if you truly believe in what you're selling, why not just go full into it? I've seen writers do that same thing too. Oh, I can write like 50 books in a year. You can write 3 books in a year. Yeah, because it takes actual thought and effort. But, oh, if you can write this, if I can write that, well, who's going to win the race? There was an article about that where a woman was like, if I can write this many books a year, you're going to be left behind because I'm going to win the race. As though art is a race. But, you know, I kind of blame, and it's gonna sound cliche and bitchy as far as the AI goes, but I kind of blame all these years when we looked at artists and said, your art really doesn't matter. What you do is just playing. What you do doesn't take effort. What you do isn't real work. How many times have you heard that? Somebody wants to be an artist and whatnot, and their parents are like, oh, you want to play for the rest of your life. You don't want an actual job. Or, you know, why are we paying them for this? Because all they're doing is sitting there using their imagination all day long. And it's like, it doesn't take any effort. And it's like, yes, it does. It takes a lot of effort to, like, hone your craft and edit and everything, but yeah. So the fact that we denigrate a lot of artists and shit really left the door open for Gen AI. Because we want to do impressive things, but yet we want to say to people, it didn't really take much time, it didn't really take much effort, because that's what people think about writers anyway. If you've ever been a writer, you have people come up to you all the time being like, oh, well, I'm gonna give you this great idea for this story and then we can split the profits, as though the idea is the hard part. Right? That is true. Like, just because you can do it faster or with little effort doesn't mean that, you know, it's gonna be better, but they try to convince themselves. And a lot of people who use generative AI, they want to be artists because they call themselves AI artists. Why couldn't they just call themselves something different? Why couldn't they just say, yeah, I'm a professional AI prompter? No, they have to use the word artist because they really want to be artists. They want to be seen as artists. Otherwise, they would just call themselves AI prompters. They would just, like, call themselves some kind of weird fucking coder, I don't know. But it's important to them to take the mantle of artist, specifically. And I think that says an awful fucking lot, really. That's just me, maybe, though. So, we have a society. I know we live in a society. Yes, it's a meme. But we have a society that says if you're an artist, you're not really doing anything worthy or taking anything that has any kind of skill. And then they're turning around and being like, well, I want to be able to do that too. And since art is considered something that doesn't take a lot of skill, when somebody shits out like Superman riding a fucking beluga whale while blowing bubbles towards Wonder Woman Snatch or whatever, they just go, oh, see? It took me as much time as it does a real artist. And it's like, it doesn't though. It doesn't though. But since we downplay what it takes to be an artist and stuff in this country, much of the world actually, at least in the more developed cough nations, yeah, I think you get where I'm going with all this. You pick up what I'm putting down. So, I don't know. And then they try to be like, well, I make even better art than the people who studied for years in school. And it's like, you're not making anything. You're cooking me a Hot Pocket in the microwave and telling me you had an old family recipe. That's what you're doing. Bush's baked beans, that real beautiful bean footage. Like I said, they're so tied up in actually being thought of as legit. And there are more and more people actually trying to take their stuff to the Supreme Court, or what amounts to the Supreme Court in their country, because they want to have their AI slop recognized as a copyrightable work. And so far they're not winning, but somebody is taking their case up to the Supreme Court again, and eventually they're gonna have to weigh in on if they can be copyrighted. And since the COSA Act or whatever passed the House, and that means if it passes all the way through, there is no AI regulation on there. Because that act, if it passes, says that the government does not have a right to control what is put on those AI apps, which means when Grok was doing the, let's say, making the pictures of little kids without any, let's say, appropriate attire, then the Supreme Court or any court cannot say to Elon, hey, you're financially responsible for any damages that are ensued because minors are being made by your program without the appropriate clothes on. Basically, AI generated, you know, child abuse imagery. And they should be responsible. As a matter of fact, there is precedent for that sort of thing. Because Google was found by a court to be liable for the misinformation Gemini gives out in one of those, like, summaries at the top of the search engine. They were found to be liable for the misinformation they spread. So how Grok wouldn't have its owner responsible for, let's say, not appropriately attired children, I have no idea why that would be considered something that is not a big deal, or something that Muskrat shouldn't be liable for. Because his shit is the one doing it. Just like Google is responsible for when it tells people to put glue in pizza cheese, or to, sustain a head injury, do this instead. It's like, okay, but that's not a good thing to tell people here. So, I don't know. I feel like every day we're slipping more towards idiocracy. And I think that movie should be required viewing for people. Except AI is really helping that along. Because when your brain does not need to know how to think critically, like finding a reliable source, if it doesn't need to know how to use certain things to do coding, it will outsource everything, and it will be like, I don't need this. So your brain will forget it, or it'll take longer for you to do it. Even if you use briefly AI for certain tasks you normally do pretty quickly, you will see the cognitive decline expediently when you start offloading your cognitive functions to an AI. Every time they try to give me Gemini in my email to like summarize a 5-sentence email, I'm like, Gemini, if I need you for this shit, we are in a deep, deep pile of crap. Because I don't need your fucking summary of 5 sentences. Mona Lisa was a heavyweight in Mario Kart. I never even heard of that. That sounds hilarious. But yeah, it's like, do you want to breathe for me too, AI? Because it's starting to get that way. And like I said, I think it was Sam Altman, the guy who has Anthropic and whatnot, who was talking about how he wants intelligence to be run like a meter for, like you would get water or electricity. And then so many people say that people worrying about like water shortages and stuff are like just being very alarmist. And it's like, are you sure about that? Because they look at the world and go, oh, we're gonna run out of water, haha, it's 3/4 water. And it's like, okay, but does AI use wastewater? Does it use salt water? Or does it use drinkable fresh water? Let's think about that one very, very carefully. Because I don't think it uses seawater. Could I be wrong? Sure. But I think that a lot of the Gen AI, when it uses for cooling and stuff for the water, it uses the stuff that we drink. And yes, I know we do have a water cycle, but only like 1% of the water cycle comes back to us as fresh water. I talked about how, I think it was the last stream, how about like 75% of countries in the next 10 years, 20 years are gonna be water insecure. I guess World War III might start over water. I don't fucking know. But it's honestly horrible. And they just act like it's, oh, it's normal, it's fine. Sure. Whatever you say. People's electric bills are going up and up and up and up because of the AI data center bullshit. But, you know, they can just pay it, right? Lake Tahoe almost not having any electricity is fine. Us, certain countries in America having blackouts as early as 2027 because of how much pressure the data centers put on the fucking grid. With all the heat waves we've been having, good luck with that. I'm sure you will enjoy your extreme heat waves with no air conditioning whatsoever because somebody needs to do piss filter memes. You can do it in the dark, assholes, but I guess you could maybe do it on your cell phone, so who really gives a shit, right? Right, gamers? God, we're so cooked. And not just because we won't have air conditioning in the hottest part of the month or year anymore because of the blackouts. We're just cooked because we don't think anything is ever going to happen to us. Our hubris is going to do us in more than anything else ever could. But, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a world where they're gonna make AI sustainable and ethical and logical and whatever. I just don't see it. I love the Phoenix, how it just gets rid of them really fast and really good. Yeah, it takes me a while to get through all of these dungeons. I'm only getting through like one level at a time now, and I've really upgraded my shit, so... Right, exactly. And there have been people, like I said, people have been facing higher and higher electric bills because of AI. And like I said, now we're gonna get blackouts here. And it's like, wow, 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 but people don't give a shit. They're not gonna give a shit till their food rots in their fridge and they can't access their internet and all that other good stuff. They're not gonna care till then. And then they're gonna be like, well, wait, why is this happening to us? And it's like, you were warned, you just didn't believe it. It's like when people vote for a certain political party and they're like, well, this thing is gonna happen and it's gonna be bad for some people, and then they're like, well, it's not gonna be bad for me, so I don't care. And then they're like, this is what I want, actually. And it's like, you want these people to hurt? And they're like, yeah. So it's like, okay, well, what about when they say this thing's gonna happen that's gonna hurt you? And then they turn around and go, well, they're not really gonna do that, even though they said they're gonna. And then when it happens to them, they're like, wait a minute, I thought that thing wouldn't happen, even though they said it would. It's like, okay, good job. It's the whole, I didn't think leopards would eat my face thing. I didn't think they meant that they would get rid of my foreign wife, because my foreign wife is actually white. I didn't think they would hurt my chances at this job, because they said they wouldn't hurt this industry, only the other industry. Yeah, okay. Again, they're all for the possibility of hurting other people as long as it doesn't hurt them. Yeah, sometimes that's all you can do, really. Is just go through life one day at a time. It's easy to get caught up in everything. And if that's all you can do is, you know, just get through it, like, that's okay. You know, I'm all for, like, helping other people and stuff, but there are times where you just can't. Like, you're in survival mode, you can't give anything to anybody else. Like, you are totally drained, you are surviving, like, barely. It's okay for your focus to be you. You know? I'm all for, like, helping people and stuff, but you can't help people if you're depleted. You can't help, you know, people fully unless you are replenished yourself. You can't give from an empty well is what the saying is usually. Alright. That'll be a +3 I can have every time. That works out for me. But it is true, you can't really easily give from an empty well. You can try, but it just takes more and more from you. But yeah, my friend in the nursing home is still not really acclimating, which I didn't expect her to. How do you go from having your own place, deciding when to eat your meals and what to eat, and not needing help going to the bathroom and everything, and not needing to call someone when you want to get out of bed, to having to talk to somebody every time you make a move? Like, that is so hard, you know? Like, you just want to get up and stretch your legs, and they're like, no, you have to call us. Or you want to decide what to have for dinner, and it's like, well, dinner is decided for you. You don't get the options, you just get what they give you. And it's really hard to switch from having that much autonomy to having almost none. And one of the things when you're disabled is you fight a lot for your autonomy. Doing stuff yourself becomes a negotiation in a lot of ways. And when you are trying to get stuff going for yourself, it is so hard. Because, okay, like my sister is starting her own business. We've been talking about this a lot. She's to the point where she's actually getting it done, Shelpers. And it's so awesome to see. But she had a thing where she wanted to get a lot of crafting done next week. Well, because of different circumstances in her family, she can't get crafting done. And it's what happens sometimes, but how do I put this? It's difficult because when I want to do something, let's go back to me for a sec. When I want to, let's say, put out a video for you to watch, to enjoy, all like 3 of you who watch my videos, I have to make sure that I'm in a place where everything's okay, so I'm not in too much pain to have, you know, no, I have enough energy, I have a good enough pain day where I can talk and not just grit my teeth, etc., etc. So I have to be well rested and all that. And then my technology needs to be working. And then Husby needs to be able to help me. So he has to, you know, I have to know if he's well rested and he's feeling okay mentally. And because you rely on someone else to get your stuff done, it isn't just a matter of, okay, I feel good enough, let's go. It's a matter of everybody around you who helps you feels good enough. So you are not just at the mercy of like the technology or getting enough sleep. You're also at the mercy of, let's say, your chronic pain, which quote unquote normal people don't have. You're also at the mercy of if you're having a migraine, whatever it is. And then you have to worry about everybody else. Like if your helper, whatever, your assistant, your family member has enough bandwidth to help you. If they're busy with their job, if they're busy with their kids, whatever it is, if they're busy too, well then you don't have anybody to help you do what you need. So like I have a lot of different things I have to think about before I can just even get a video out. Before I can even decide whether or not I like go outside. Because my caregiver also has things that he has to do, he has to think about, etc. So, and I'm not saying, oh, fuck everybody who has like pain or doesn't want to help me or whatever. I am saying though that I have to keep other people in mind. It's like with my sister starting her business, she has to worry about like what everybody around her has available for time and if they can help her, and if her disability, you know, is fine, plus all the original like things you have to think about with a business, like getting business insurance and trademarks and filing for permits, all that kind of stuff. So you have all the normal business stuff, plus you have to remember, you know, your disability, which means if you have medication, you have to remember to take it. If you go to a conference, you have to get a hotel room that's handicapped accessible, which is not always the easiest to find. And just because the room is handicapped accessible, Shelpers, doesn't mean it works for you. Like, I have an apartment that's accessible for me, right? They have the bars in the bathroom and stuff like that. But where they put the bars isn't normally something that works for me. So they had to give an extra bar into the bathroom. And I can't have what's called a high-rise toilet, because if I have a high-rise toilet, then I can't get on it. So there's a lot of things to consider, from accessibility to all the extra supplies you need and medications, to how you're going to get to like a conference or whatever, to if your caregiver can drive that day. Like, there are so many things to think about when you're disabled and you need something done. There have been times I've missed out on things because my chronic pain is just like, haha, you thought. And there are times I missed out on stuff because husband has a bad day or whatever. Oh my. Hello, Mr. Poseidon. Ooh, ew, ew, ew. Not even for a joke, Shelpers. That was so gross. I'm not a fan of submissive stuff for me. Okay. Take 8 damage. 0 damage deals, okay. I don't think I can do a 5 combo to get that off me. So that's gonna be not optimal. There we go. Oh, you're dead already. Oh, boo-hoo for you. Well, that wasn't too bad. I'm just gonna take the coins. Yep, he's coming to take me away. Okay, we got through the dairy factory. That took almost a fucking hour. I wish I could go faster, but it is what it is. Alright, let's see if we can buy anything in here. They didn't unlock the rest of it, so I'm gonna wait a bit. I want to see if they gave me the person I normally use now. No. I don't think so. There's a girl in purple I use. And if you trigger a purple card, she actually can disarm an enemy. And you really need that near the end of the road. Because if you can't disarm them, well, you're pretty fucked, so... Okay, I think... we did not find the item in the curd refinery. Well, I'm gonna go back on my own time, but, whoopsie. Let's go to the bridge. Because I don't want to go back to the same level on stream every time, so... we're just gonna forge ahead. See if we can get through. Okay, we'll take the bone, I guess. I like bony damage. There we are. And... okay, we're gonna take the, 0, 1, so that way eventually we can add it together. Just a lot of attacks. I know that means a bloated deck, but still. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, Pugnala has some really good comboing. I just really don't know how to use her that well with it, I don't think. Okay, let's do her, and then let's do this. Yeah, I'm really not doing nearly as much damage as I ought to be at this juncture. That's okay, though. I still might do the Tales from the Crypt thing this weekend. We'll see. I really want to. I need to calm my titties. And I was gonna not work this weekend because I've been trying to push through all week and get shit done. Which is not good for me in a lot of ways, but like I work until I have a headache. Not optimal. Gotta tell you, not optimal. And I shouldn't really be doing that, but I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because I'm sort of blackpilling right now. There we go. I forgot what Husby. I could do like a full stream of Beatdown City Survivors, because I did do a video of that, but not a stream of that. And I got way past the first level, so I could show off more of that game. I could go back to Letter Quest. I have like a bunch of stuff, and I mean a bunch. I could dig out some random ass demos on the, because like one of the games that is on my summer game stuff has a demo out. I'm sure a lot of them do. I could do that. Husby's been considering eventually buying me the Dave the Diver in the Jungle DLC because apparently there's like a lot to it. I'm like, I'm gonna hold off on that. But yeah, I have a lot of choices. We have so many games on Steam. I should actually like take screenshots and put them in my Discord or up on my Blue Sky. Plus we have a lot of stuff on Epic as well, and GOG. Plus all the stuff I've had on console games over the years. Or on consoles, not console games. So I should show off what we have, so. I don't think I'm going back to Tomodachi because there really isn't much to show now. Like outside of the Mad Lib stuff, it's like I was really disappointed in that game. I was disappointed in that game like I was disappointed in New Horizons. I almost wish they wouldn't have gave us a new Tomodachi Life. That's how disappointed I was. I would rather have not have fucking had it at all. So that can just tell you everything about my mindset. But yeah, I have a shitload of games, I really do. So I'm not sure. It's more along the lines of what do I play or what do I feel in the mood for. Because sometimes I get really caught up in what I want to play versus like what I have. My brain only allows me to play so many games at a certain period of time. Like, I've been wanting to do another playthrough of State of Decay 2 for myself. I would play it on stream once a year if I could, but I don't want to put everybody through that over and over. But I want to play it for myself, but my brain is like, no, 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 don't do it, don't do it. Even though I love the game, it just doesn't want me going back to it because I'm not there yet, quote unquote. I don't like the way my brain is, but that's what it does to me, so. But yeah, I'm trying to find the next thing to play. I could make a list and put it up, I suppose. But the reason I bring up Beatdown City is because that's the game I've been playing by myself right now. Husby and I have been into Astral, like, heavily. The reason I hesitate for doing Astral, because I love the fucking game. I love Astral, like, up and down forever. But I hesitate to play the game on stream because it's one of the roguelikes where you actually need to play it more than once. You need to actually go through it multiple times. And I'm just like, oh, hell. Like, nobody's gonna want to sit around for that, you know? Us having to beat because you increase the difficulty and you unlock stuff and you have to keep killing the person, like the bad guy that has the prison or whatever, over and over and over and over and over. So I thought it would be boring, but Husby and I have been playing through it again, and it is one of my favorite games in the genre, so Okay, we're gonna take that one for reasons. Nothing. I'm just thinking out loud about video games. Like I said, it is a nice dilemma to have so many games I don't know which one to play next. Instead of like struggling because we don't have anything. You know, and then I have to decide, do I want to drag Bajast back onto my stream with a multiplayer game? Do we, or should we hold off on having him back for a while? He's fine with it either way, but
So that's why you were wondering what kind of thing you talked about.
kinda. Because I'm trying to see what my next playthrough should be. You know, because I talked about Cat Class 3, but it's like, do I want to bring you back on right away, or should we wait a while? I know. I know you're okay with it. I know you're starting to stream like once a week for yourself, but what? Yeah, so I don't know. I said I could also like make a big old list of games and put them up on like my Discord or something so people can give me their thoughts. Like games that I would want to actually play right now, which is more difficult than it sounds. Like I said, if I'm not ready for a certain game, my brain is like, don't do it. Which I hate. Then again, as I've stated previously, I can't even get myself to play State of Decay 2 right now because my brain's like, we're not ready for that, so. Yes, the dancing sword. Yeah, Husby and I were also gonna watch some Cow and Chicken on Tubi, and I haven't done that yet. One of our more liked older sitcoms is going on Tubi on the 15th. It's Rules of Engagement. It was with like David Spade and Patrick Warburton and stuff. We liked that one fairly well, so that one's actually coming halfway through the month, so I'm sure Husby will want to see that again at some point. I don't think we have that one on DVD. It's hard for me to remember what he buys, because there was a time there he bought like a lot of DVDs and stuff. We have like the first 14 seasons of The Simpsons, maybe? I forget. It's hard for me to remember what he bought. I don't buy nearly as much as he used to, so he could probably tell me if I asked him, but I don't think it was one of them, so that one's coming, and I'm sure he'll want to see it again. But yeah, I should also try to pick another book for book club, but the last one we got was not optimal, so I don't know. I don't even know what genre we should get, honestly. I thought a lit RPG would actually be a good choice, but it didn't necessarily seem to be, so. It's not like I can say for sure. Oh man, I'm hoping this is the boss because I'm getting my ass handed. Oh man. I don't know if I'm doing this wrong or if they just have a shitload of hit points. That's probably the reason, eh? They're gonna hit me for 12 again, and me with barely any armor. Oof. 12 more. Well, at least I got hit for 5, but my gosh. This sword is gonna fucking all be the death of me. This sword will be the death of me. Death of me. Oh man. I've been singing a lot more than I used to, too. I have a Spotify playlist, and yes, I know Spotify is not great. But I have a Spotify playlist with, like, songs I like to sing. Or songs that I might be able to sing at least okay. Which is very fucking debatable, we've all heard me sing. But I actually have a list, and I've been doing more singing lately. I find when I'm too sad or whatever, I usually don't that much. So I thought it might be beneficial. Oof. Off I go. And yes, you can fight them because eventually you get the ability to revive, so then you can try to take on the skeletons that hit you, but... So we got the bridge done. And now that we got the bridge done, we got extra stuff. Like increased draw effects by 1 card per rank. Increase enemy strength. Fuck that. Remove 2 cards from level up choices. That way you can kind of figure out what you want. More coins per rank is my first one. XP per rank should be my second one. That way I can get more bang for my buck. Revive. Yes, we want that fucking sweet ass revive. 1 card per rank. Can't get that yet. So we just unlocked all the abilities to unlock. Is my girl here yet? Maybe I imagined her. I don't think I did though. Well, we're gonna keep the girls we have for now. And then we're gonna go on with our lives. We can wait till it gets closer to winter. You know, we could do like fall winter book club. And then take the summer off. That would be fine by me. I'm not in a hurry because like so many of the free books I get are like romance themed or like cozy mystery, and I'm like, this would not necessarily make the best book club group unless we all wanted to laugh. I gotta tell you, I do highlight some passages in certain spicy books and pass them on to a certain Mr. Pangu so we can have a really great laugh. But I don't think that would be... Twitch would be like, banned, 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 gone forever. And I'd be like, what did I do? We were only talking about swampy love tunnels, Twitch. It's fine. Sometimes even twitching swampy love tunnels. I think it would be cool to do like a horror book around Halloween. But again, it's difficult to choose which one. Alright, let's see. Well, that it can evolve, so... Okay, can't get out that way. Let's go around here. There's a bad guy. It's hard to navigate sometimes, but I manage. Okay, 1 and then 3. That should work. That's not bad. But yeah, I don't have a problem holding off on it. You know, the more I promise, it's like, the more, like, I only have so many spoons anyway, to be honest with you. And part of me thinks that since I'm not going to grow as a channel, that I should just, like, do what I want when I feel like it and, like, not promise, like, certain videos at certain times or whatever. Because my brain is like, why are you doing all this work for, you know, when I'm not going to grow? Because people who watch me tend to like what I do already. You know, they're not just going, oh, I wish you would have done more of this or more of that. So, I don't know. We could also, for book club, try to do like short stories. You know, I could find a short story online and we could like talk about it. Or we could do like multiple short stories. That would also be a possibility. That way we could pace ourselves and, you know. But I would want something that we could do like a full stream on, so it's kind of hard to figure out. But we have time. Most of the time I play video games partially because I like them and partially because it's easier for me to just pick up a game and talk about anything. I've been trying to edit certain things and it's not working out well. Oh man. Editing sometimes is such a pain in the rectum. Sometimes I love it, but sometimes the story does not help you along. And I hate that because I have troublemaker files where I'm just like dumping them in and I'll have to work on them later when, you know, they come to me, but oof. I also found, because I had to switch notebooks because I filled up my current notebook, that I had a short that was a follow-up to the anime thing I did. So if anybody remembers the anime short, like, at one point, I made a short, like, talking about how I was looking into the anime and how it has VTubers in it and stuff like that. And then at the end of it, I said, you know, people are talking about a popular subgenre called hen in a tie. And I was gonna do a whole thing here at one point late at night. I shit you not. I had a bunch of notes on the hen in a tie. And I have a bunch of notes that I have to literally decipher because I can't make out my handwriting because it was somewhat dark and I had my glasses off. And when I have my glasses off, I don't write exactly in a straight line. So I have like all these weird fucking notes just scribbled down in my handwriting I have to parse through. But yeah, I actually scripted out almost an entire follow-up to the anime video, including where the last part of it leaves off. And yeah, I was like, oh, because I thought I'll get back to it and I never did. And I'm like, well, I left my door open. Okay. Cards picked up from light sources now benefit from light sources. Okay. So the ones that come out of the light sockets, I guess, or the light pools. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. But yeah, I actually thought I didn't have any of that. Also, at one point, when I was doing things, Reiko actually had like this news thing that we were doing, and I gave her a skit because it was all supposed to be like funny news. That was, I don't even know how long ago, and it hasn't come out yet because she was waiting on somebody to do their part, but I don't know if anything actually happened with that. So while I was doing videos for her, I actually came up with like a few different ideas for it because I wanted to do like different parts of the news, and instead of doing like regular news, I did obituaries. Like funny obituaries, and she's like, well, don't do obituaries that are real people. And I'm like, no, that's not funny. Like, that wouldn't be funny. This is funny. So I made up a whole person and did an obituary. And it's low-hanging fruit for humor, but I thought it would be okay anyway. So I'm just looking at it and going, I have like a few more that I had in the hopper for possibilities that I didn't use that I could go back and do videos on if I wanted to. But I'm not really a comedy channel. I can theoretically be funny. Not necessarily intentionally, but I can be. So I was like, maybe I should get back to that. I also have more Sunshine minutes like I planned out and just never did them. I can't tell you how many things I have where I just never finished them off. Speaking of finished them off, that guy died awful quick. And the overkill gives me more money, which I desperately need at this juncture. Okay. Evolve me. Yes. Very nice. Like I said, I've never seen the evolved garlic, and I think that's a shame, but I don't need the roast, so I'll just go on with my life. Light source. There we go. I still haven't like sat down and watched like all of Wreck or whatever. I really want to. I haven't really been watching that many movies lately. Last time I sat down and watched movies was like Husby and I watched a couple of supposed rom-coms that weren't really rom-coms for our anniversary. So otherwise there are movies that I kind of want to see that I do have access to where it's just like, well, I'm busy with this or whatever, so which is okay. I'm reading way more than watching movies lately, but I'm playing video games almost as much. Husby will say I'm working more than I'm like watching movies or reading books or anything, which might not be wrong about that. Okay, activate crawler trigger abilities. Okay, we'll try that one. I haven't really used that one, so. But yeah, next week, Monday, Husby has an appointment that's just a checkup, so I'm not going to be streaming Monday or Tuesday. The earliest I can stream is Wednesday. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream Wednesday, Friday, or Thursday, Friday. But yeah, I'm gonna go with him. I don't have to, but I like to support him and his appointments like he does me. You know, just to make sure everything is addressed or whatnot. I do like his physician, so she seems very nice. I hate though that when I read up nice people sometimes in the medical field, I kind of read them up as patronizing, even if they don't like mean to be, and maybe it's me, but like every once in a while she'll like explain something and she'll be doing it in a very nice way, but it's just the way she says things. I'm like, okay, this sounds a little patronizing. I don't say that to her, but she's pretty competent and explains everything well, so I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that, you know, my brain is like, oh, this sounds patronizing. And then I'm like, well, is it my, you know, past experience with medical professionals that makes me feel that way? Because honestly, how many medical professionals have seen my wheelchair and thought, you know, I was incapable of rational thought or getting something they were telling me? So could just be me. I almost think that I have medical PTSD, and I don't say that lightly. I just know how I react to some things that go on during appointments, not mine. Like one time they couldn't find my vein or to get my port to work, and they were gonna get my vein, and I like just started to like take my shirt off like in the middle of the, not in the middle of the opening, but in the like curtained area, in the little like booth thing they have. I was just starting to like take my shirt off to make it easier for like the phlebotomist to like poke me, and it was like, calm down, like calm down. But I was like literally panicking because people have a lot of trouble finding my veins. So I'm just like, okay, we have a bit of a problem here. And I've done like really weird shit like that before. So I know that when I'm going through a lot of the medical stuff, when it's my appointments, that I don't handle it well, but I don't realize how well I'm not handling it until something like that happens, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna smack into this and then I'm gonna cash out. Okay. Because yes, you can cash out even in the gotcha machines. I know it's a vending machine, don't at me. Alright, there we go. Not too bad. It's demon killing time. Plus, we got some armor. I'm using armor and then I have lightning. Whoops! Good thing it can't come back on me. But yeah, some of these floors are like really big. I don't have to take down every monster like I said, but you tend to miss leveling up at your own peril in this game. I don't know why I use that extra mana. I don't think I have the thing that makes mana go between turns, so there is a arcane card that does that though. You're allowed to keep up to like 5 in between turns. And yeah, I'm cashing out a lot because I want the money. I probably should use the gems to level up my cards, but the gem place at the village is really fucking helpful. Because you can say what gems you want to see more often or which ones you don't want at all. Because there are gems I really don't like that much, so. Oh, yes. Give me that. Nice. Alright, anything else? Oh, this thing. Okay. We're actually going to... I could cash out, but I could say this because that way I get +2 all the way along. And I really can't complain about a consistent +2 from a card that would only show up once in a great while. For a brief time in college, I thought I might want to be an anthropologist. I don't know if I told you all that. And it's because I find, like, human civilization and all that really fascinating, how we evolved to do whatever. And, like, the myth of the, like, hunter-gatherer thing that's still being perpetrated. I mean, we all learned about that in grade school pretty much. That women were gatherers and the men were hunters. And it's not true. It was each according to his ability. Which is honestly the way society should be run. Like, if you have your fleet of foot and you're quiet and you're a good tracker and you have great eyesight and, like, why wouldn't you be a hunter regardless of, like, what's between your legs? And if you are, like, somebody who can identify, like, 13 types of poisonous mushrooms, like, who cares what's between your legs? You're keeping people safe. And, you know, I just figure skill-based matchmaking, as it were, would have been more beneficial to us as a species than worrying about who was doing what. Unless something specific needed to happen, like, okay, somebody who's like 6 feet might not get through this like crevice, but somebody who's like, you know, very slim and whatever could. And generally that's, you know, women on average, the sexual dimorphism thing used to be more prevalent before we really started to, you know, come into our own as a species. So maybe like spelunking was more done by women because they were smaller. I mean, who knows? But for the most part, it was as long as you could do whatever. And I wish, like, in the hellscape that is like an upcoming like apocalypse or something, that's what we would focus on. Because I think about that, like, how I would probably not survive a zombie apocalypse, but then again, like, I think of worlds like World War Z, where I might have actually been a teacher to the children that were left or whatever, because one of the things I can probably do is teach. I can't guarantee it, but as far as English goes, I wouldn't be too terrible at it. So, oof. Look at those chompers. He's slowly saying crab people in a distorted voice. You just can't hear it. No, I'm kidding. Die, foul beast. I do know that this month for my sister's birthday, one of the things she wants to do is have me watch Wicked 1 and 2. Yeah, I love ancient civilizations too. Like learning about how we handled things in certain eras and stuff. Like people think like tampons for periods are like a new invention, or like birth control is a new invention. It's not. Birth control was around for like quite the fucking while. And so were like ways to deal with, you know, a period, a woman's period and stuff. So, I mean, did you know that the reason we have the heart shape the way it is, you know, with the pointy bottom and stuff like that, is because I think it was ancient Roman times. Could be wrong about that, bear with me. They had this plant that had leaves that are in the traditional heart shape, and the plant was used as a let's say pregnancy prevention, and it was used so wildly and successfully that it went extinct. But it's one of the reasons why, at least the wives' tale is, watch me have heard this from somewhere and it's complete bullshit, but I heard that the reason we have a heart shape that looks like the HP on the left over there is simply because we were using to great effect a plant that had leaves like that for making sure we didn't have unwanted pregnancy. But people nowadays make it sound like, you know, controlling unwanted pregnancy was something we didn't do back in the day. And yes, we did. Humans have always wanted to fuck without having kids necessarily. So, I took a lot of anthropology classes from like early civilization. We actually had a full class on like the Native American populations around Wisconsin. So that's how I learned about how some of the tribes around here, they would not use feathers for their like headdresses and stuff. They would use porcupine fur, because porcupines, the things that stand up on their backs, that look like bristles, they're not all quills. Porcupines only have so many quills to go around. A lot of that is actually fucking like coarse long hair that makes it look like they have more quills than they do. Yes, they do have a fair amount of quills, but they want it to look more imposing, so they actually will stand up their long bristled hair along with their quills along their back. And a lot of, I think it was like maybe the Winnebago tribe here or something, that they would use the fur of the porcupine for their headdresses. So I found that very interesting. And then they would use the quills to make like little trinkets or whatever too. They would dye the quills and use them as well. Because a lot of Native American tribes, they would use up every part of the animal. They didn't believe in like letting good things go to waste. So Yeah, exactly. Back in the day can mean a lot of things. I'm so old now, Shelpers, that the music that was around when I was even a teenager is now considered oldies. So when you hear the songs that they played at your like high school prom or whatever the fuck on the oldies station, you feel old. And to be fair, like they always did like the 80s retro luncheons even in the 90s. So they were already using like 80s to mean like old when I was a 90s kid or an early 2000s teenager. So but yeah, I am old as fuck though, to be fair. Like a lot of the people who are VTubers, they're in their 20s. I'm pretty much old enough to be their mom. Or the really cool aunt that never had kids or whatever. It feels a little wild. Because, you know, you don't necessarily feel like your age. Somebody said somewhere, and I don't know if this is true because I'm not anybody else, that after you get to a certain point in your life, like mid-30s or whatever, you always tend to feel like you're that age mentally, as far as like you don't get to feel like you're 90 or whatever. You always feel like you, and you always just feel like you're at one specific spot as far as like age in your life. Like a lot of people, they don't feel like they're, I feel like I'm 100, but that's because my body is failing me. But that's a different story. And a lot of millennials, they have this weird thing where some of them are, you know, just getting their like first solo apartment. Some of them are having their fourth kid at 40. Some of them are having their first kid at 40. Some of them are empty nesters when they're 40 something. It's just wild how all over the map we are. But I think that happens with every generation. But mine seems to be a little more weird. And I've said this before, but I consider myself a zillennial. Not a millennial, a zillennial. And everybody would argue against that because zillennials are like late 70s, very early 80s, and I was born in 85. So people would try to argue against that because reasons. But you have to remember, I didn't even have dial-up internet until I was a teenager. 17? Maybe? 17, almost 18? We didn't have any internet at all until I was almost 18 years of age, Shelpers. And we had dial-up until I was 23, 24. So I was way behind the times. Way behind the times. So it's easy for me to feel like I am a zillennial. Because they're like, the reason they call them zillennials is because they were like trapped in between and they didn't have, you know, all the technology until they were older. And I'm like, I didn't have it. We didn't have that technology at all till I was older. We just couldn't afford it. I was trying to get through my college classes online on fucking dial-up. And that actually bit me in the ass really hard. So. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna get slapped this time, but next time, definitely. There we go. And outside of the fact that sometimes I have work that has to be done, or whatever, I don't actually... Okay, I can't turn that in for money. I wanted to make sure that I don't actually care too much if the internet goes out. Yeah, if I'm like watching something online or whatever, sure, but I'm gonna put this on one of my blue guns. Yep. it bothers me when the power goes out because then I'm worried about like our groceries going bad and whatnot. But for the most part, yeah. Well, like I said, it's not as clear cut, but they're like Zillennials are people who, you know, got a technology later in life, and I'm like, yeah, sounds legit. Sounds like me. Because like I said, it was. We didn't have anything other than dial-up, so like I said, I was in my almost my mid-20s. It is what it is. You know, that's part of being poor, too. When they talk about technology and how old you were when you got what, they don't often think about why you didn't switch to from dial-up to high speed was because you didn't have money or because you grew up in the fucking country where the high-speed internet really wasn't available, you know? One of the things Husby finds funny to this day is, okay, everybody knows, like, I grew up, like, 20, 25 miles or more away from, like, the nearest substantial town. And by substantial, I mean less than, like, 10K, okay? So, I grew up to the point where, in an era, in a way that the place you took your date was the gas station. That kind of thing. Because that was like a mile or two down the road. So anyway, when we moved here, which is a bigger place than living out at the farm, obviously, one night, Husby was gonna order pizza. And I was just so fucking shocked that we could order pizza for delivery because out on the farm, you couldn't do that. You know, living like 20, 25 miles out of town, there was no fucking way in hell, you know? So, this is not, I don't think, the person that does the purple shit either, but we got a new person, so that's good. But yeah, Husby grew up in like a big city. Well, to me, it was big. So, having the ability to order pizza for delivery was just a shock. Because there was no way in hell you could just do that. I mean, hell, where my sister lives, she still can't get, like, let's say Domino's, Pizza Hut, whatever, delivered. And she lives closer to town than I did, so... Okay. Nothing this way. Okay. Let me just try to do regular stuff. Let's see how it goes. I'm trying to autoplay turns a little more to see if it goes faster for me, but I also don't want the game making the wrong decisions. Yeah, exactly. If you live in bumfuck nowhere, you don't actually have the ability to have that happen. Sometimes DoorDash doesn't even come out to where you are because you live so far out. Because it's not worth it for them unless you're giving them like a $50, $70 tip or whatever, so... Okay, what is this now? Oh, the jeweler's counter. Yes, I need that. I like the word lapidary, by the way. A lapidary is a gem cutter. I guess that's the vocabulary word for the day is lapidary. It's a gem cutter. At least that's what I remember it being. Watch me be wrong. And then everybody's like, oh my god, Toluca, you're a writer. You didn't even blah, 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 blah. But that's what I remember it being. Okay, let's pick up this. But yeah, I'm trying to get Husby to stream once a week now because he's been wanting to. He doesn't have a consistent day yet, but he's sort of doing the once a week thing. He played Kirby last time, which was nice to watch. He loves Kirby. You know, he's always like, he has a problem with how much he does or doesn't talk on stream. And I'm like, I constantly talk, but I'm always worried if I leave any gaps in silence that I'm not doing my quote unquote job. So my brain is always like, talk, you dummy, talk. So I'm like, I wonder if that's part of the reason why I like reiterate and circle around so much. But I did find out something interesting, that if you like clarify your position over and over again, that not necessarily this is what it is, but I have my reasons for thinking this. But anyway, when you clarify your position over and over again, like you will talk about it and then you will add a little more and go over it again, that's a sign that you've dealt with like some emotional like abuse in your life, because your brain is really trying to get you out of trouble or to make sure you're explaining yourself clearly so like people don't fuck with you. So I find that really interesting for reasons I'm not going to get into, but yeah. And then I'm like, well, maybe it's just because I'm lonely so often. Plus, I don't really have much going on with my life unless it's like a disaster. So, unless I'm having some kind of carnage or chaos, my life really doesn't change that much. It's not like I can tell you like the absurd antics of a coworker or something, because I just don't have like a lot of interaction outside of being online, because my body doesn't really allow it. So okay, I don't think I want any of those. There we go. I think this section is, wait, I'm lying. Okay, there we go. I'm a liar. The Imagine Dragons has a song called Bad Liar, and Husby and I always hear Fred Meyer, the store. So it's like, I'm Fred Meyer. Sometimes it's like, I'm a vampire. Because Mondo Greens is a term for like when you mishear something in a song lyric and it's a commonly misheard one. So the whole excuse me while I kiss the sky is this guy, which he can go on with his bad self. That's fine. You can kiss anybody you want to as long as they're a consenting adult. Why not? Okay, let's see what we should do here. Okay, good. They say you can play cards in reverse order on this game. I've actually never done that. It's always like the straightforward ascending. Yeah, but apparently your need to over-explain can come from childhood trauma, because you try so hard to be understood so nothing can be used against you or people can't make fun of you or something. I'm sure that's not the only reason. Like I said, maybe mine is from the fact that I don't get enough social interaction. But my brain will always add more stuff to a situation, like a conversation, when I should have just did it at the beginning. But the more I ruminate, the more my brain like works something out, so I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I wonder if this is the last floor. We'll have to see. There we go. Take it, you harpy. There we go. Very nice. Give him a frying pan. Hold this above your head, please. I'm trying to get HBO. Most people won't get that joke because it's an antenna joke, and most people don't have antennas anymore. Very timely. I told you, Shelpers, I'm an L7, and what can I say? I'm peace. Let's start that again. I'm at peace with it. There we go. Don't know why that took me a year to get it out, but okay. L7, for those of you who don't know, it's a square. And being a square is like being a fuddy-duddy, being like, I don't want to say a loser, but it has a connotation of that at points. But yeah, you're like no fun, you're not really like wild or interesting. But yeah, especially I would guess as far as like over-explaining when you didn't have a lot of people who trusted what you had to say or believed you as a kid, that could also probably factor in. Oh my god, this person is killing me. Uh-huh. Oh man, this is gonna suck ass, isn't it? Oh man. Please just die. Please. Fuck. I think one more hit, 2 more hits. That's all it's gonna take. Oh, fuck me twice. If I don't get past them in 1 more... And I don't have anything to heal with, so... Okay, done. Let's hope that was the bad guy. If that was just the person guarding a treasure, I'm gonna cry. It was just a treasure. Shelpers, this was just a treasure. Oh, fuck me sideways. Right, but if you over-explained, they could also say that you were lying. Because people are like, if you have a lot of details in your stories, then you're more likely to be fibbing. So it's like, well, fuck me twice. Like, what do I do? Sometimes you just can't win. So you can only do, like, what's right for you on that one. Now we can just get harpies for fun. I'm so glad. There we go. Oh, okay, well, max health, okay. It's not like it gives me more health, but at least it's something. My nun gives me more health, but I don't know how helpful she is, to be honest. I do have the thing that brings me back to life now, though, I think. I could be wrong. But I think I did grab the revive out of the store before I started over here. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, only you can decide. You know, and a lot of being an adult is not only navigating being an adult, but how to go ahead with being an adult when your childhood was not, let's say, optimal. Due to like family issues or excessive bullying in your family, etc., etc. But all we can do is the best we can. Sometimes we have to be our own cheerleaders or champions or friends when other people don't see the good in us. And that's really fucking hard if we never had somebody around to, you know, ever give us that praise or guidance or whatever. My mom was like really good for us when we were growing up, so I had that, but things also kind of changed as I got older, so, which sometimes they just do. But yeah, I always have a little bit of a harder time in the summer because all like the old family birthdays and stuff. And Golden Wolf was born on the 4th of July, so like that's kind of an ouchie point, but it is what it is. I'm really glad I can't see the naughty bits on these harpies. They'll be like, are you playing Honey Pop? And I'll be like, no Twitch. No Daddy Twitch, not playing Honey Pop. I actually like Honey Pop though. I wish there was a version of like that kind of game where you're just friends and like you're helping out friends and getting to know friends and stuff. Like it doesn't have to be the Saiyx for me to like it. As a matter of fact, the Saiyx gets kind of boring. I should be the spokesperson for the corn pub. It gets boring. DeLuca Turtelli. Yeah, I'm glad too. I know you've been having a go of it. And as long as I know you're okay, I don't worry. As far as like, as okay as you can be, I should say. Not to say that everything you're going through is fine, but you know, as long as you're hanging in there. Like, I have a chronically ill friend, and she... like, a chronically ill writer friend. And I was gonna call her, and she's like, I'm busy today. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then we were gonna text, and she's like, oh, I love texting. She said, because it lets me, like, get back to you at my own pace. And I'm like, that's fine. That's perfectly cool if you want to text. I'm like, the only problem is, like, Husby and I share one cell phone. Thank goodness it's not one brain cell, that poor man, but Husby and I share one cell phone, so, you know, he's gonna have to tell me, like, if you've texted me, because I don't use the cell phone and he uses it, like, daily to, like, watch stuff or check stuff or whatever. So, otherwise I don't really care. I think this thing is the last boss of this realm. However, he sucks ass. Meaning he's like really fucking tough. Okay. And yes, when the clock strikes down, like the eyes go around and then he'll do 14 damage. So I would like to find something that disarms him, but I don't think I will. He keeps walking back and forth. Yep, 14. I keep trying to push him away, but I don't think he'll go. Okay. So he's not gonna do 500 damage, so that's fine. Yeah, I actually liked it. I liked Honey Pop too as well. But a lot of people didn't like that one as much. I like the mechanic of having to like worry about two different people at once. That's a 6. Oh my Christ. That's a 0. Ow. Stop it. I don't want crabs. No Krabby Patties for me. Okay. We're getting it done. The whip will heal me. Yeah, I wonder what happens when I keep breaking his claws like that. Does it make him, like, have issues with hitting me? Or does he get, like, criticals when his claws are really big and he's gonna attack me? My, what big claws you have! Trust me, in science class when we had to dissect that crayfish, that really made me decide forever never to eat shellfish or whatever outside of the fact that shrimp has already been grandfathered into my cuisine. Otherwise I wouldn't be eating shrimp either. I've never eaten crab, I've never eaten lobster, I never will. I don't like things that look like insects, okay? I can't. If I ever wanted to lose a significant amount of weight, I would be in a house that had like infestations of bugs. Because if I have bugs around me, I don't eat for jack shit. I hate them, they're disgusting. Big meaty claws, yeah. I'm hoping I can get through this guy. He is a beast, though. Well, he only beat me on 6. Well, that wasn't too bad. Yes, let's take this one. Let's overkill him even more. Crab people, crab people. Not bad. We almost got maximum overkill on that one. Okay, the one guarding the treasure chest was way fucking worse. Way fucking worse. Oh no. I wanted to give up one of my lesser books. Oh damn. That's fine. That's fine. I still have enough. I still have enough tomes. I still have enough. Good God. Oh, thank you, meat. I love meat. I am a carnivore at heart. Okay. That's an expanded area or something. Okay. Let's go this way. More harpies. Somebody's mother-in-law's in that line. Thank you. It wasn't as bad as the thing fucking blocking my way to the last treasure chest. We're getting a respectable amount of coins in this run. So not bad. More healing, we'll need it. I wish they could make Selma's fireworks. I think I would enjoy that a lot. And then they would have to like force people to use them in the city limits. Okay, what is this now? It adds a hurry button to the world map. Oh good, we need that shit. We definitely need that shit. Because I think we walk faster and the animations go faster and a lot of things happen in good ways when we use it, so. Okay, 2, 3. Okay, and this one. So we go 4. And then we go 2, 3. We did the best we could on those combos. And nothing's going to attack us this turn. That's very nice. We don't have anything under a 2 mana in this hand, though. But all the blue guns are free. Because I have the arcane thing that lets me have dupes in my hand for free. So, not bad. Okay, we have to give away a card in order to get the extra mana. And we want that. Do I have a card I can just give away? Not in particular. Not really. I could give away an extra gun. Not optimal, but an extra mana is very helpful, so I'll take the hit. Especially since we're not too far away from the boss. It doesn't appear anyway. Okay, slap you with my ding dong. And this another one. And this another one. There we go. I did the ones that had duplicates, that way I got more bang for my buck. Okay, this one. And then this garlic will push them away. Max HP, let's go. I am slowly getting my life back, and I'm gonna need that because I think the boss is gonna be like eating my face in a little bit, so. Okay, we'll get the blue gun back. There we go. That way we can work our way back up the combo chain. I don't like the humping motion some of these things make. I'm hoping they have to go to the bathroom and they're not interested in me. I don't really want to go out with any kind of reanimated skeletons or undead knights. I'm just thinking of like Arabian Nights, Arabian Days, that song. Undead Nights, Undead Days. Is that a sword in your hand, or are you just happy to see me? Oh, it's a sword? Oh, you want to knock my head off? Well, whoops. Fancy. Let's just try to avoid that, shall we? Well, nobody's gonna attack me this turn. When they move frantically like they did before, that's when they're on top of you. And I am getting my life back without having resurrected, so I will have that available should I need it for the boss, and something tells me I will, so. And I love knockback in this game, because if they get knocked back, obviously they can't reach you to hurt you. So. Okay. I really need more zero mana stuff, because I don't have it. Okay, Blood Whip, then this. Miracle Whip, better than mayonnaise. It's my take on the song, watch me whip whip, watch me nay nay. I always say Miracle Whip whip better than mayonnaise. Because it makes more sense to me. Although Husby likes mayonnaise more than Miracle Whip. I love him anyway. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. There we go. That way I have an extra move with the extra minecart. I love the minecarts on this one. I don't think I've ever seen a deluxe minecart either. I wonder whose stuff that would be in order to have the deluxe minecart. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't do the Summer Games coverage perfectly, but the second part is the last part I'm doing, so you'll know everything I know about the games and what games interest me, so. I thought that would be a decent thing to put up. I'm not sure when I'm gonna start doing more like other videos, because I used to do them every week for the YouTube channel and now I just don't. Interesting. I like the fact that there seems to be more taste to Miracle Whip. But to be honest, I don't really eat it all that much either way. I'm gonna say this, for the most part, I'm not a really big fan of sandwiches. I say as we ate a sub sandwich today, but for the most part, I don't just sit down and eat sandwiches. Like how Husby and I normally eat during the day. This is a normal day, mind you. He will make something for dinner. So let's say like pork chops, potatoes, and green beans. And he will make enough where like we'll split it throughout the day, and that's what we eat on. And that's what we eat on the whole day. And then like tomorrow is tacos, so we'll have enough tacos to eat all day, which all day for us is eats twice. We have like a morning afternoon meal, and then we have an evening night meal, so we eat twice. And that's what we normally do. We don't snack or whatever, and then people are like, well, what about fruit and stuff? Yeah, sometimes we have it for our meals, sometimes we just have vitamins. It's what it is. So, but that's normally how we eat. Okay, so this might be the boss of all bosses. I don't know. I have to see the floor we're on. And right now I don't have to worry about the boss till it gets to the front of the damn line, so. But we did work our way up from 0. So we were almost dead, and now we have a full life and then a revive still. So, if any time is the time we're gonna beat this monstrosity, it would begin now. But we'll see. Oh, fuck me twice. Listen here, you Chimera fuck. You're not supposed to be at the front of the line yet. Okay, can I push you backwards with that? Prob nah. Okay, I pushed you back enough with something. I guess not? You just hit me for... You motherfucker. Okay, he's not going to attack me yet. Okay, that's free. Okay. I'm trying to get the most out of the bang for my buck. Because when he hits me, it's gonna hurt like a bitch. Okay, one more turn and he's gonna hit me, so it isn't gonna matter what I do. I don't have enough... Shit. I don't have enough armor to kind of keep some of his bullshit at bay, so... Technically, anything is a sandwich if you try hard enough. Case in point. I don't know if you have the... You have to have it, but like... Jack's pizzas are like these really thin pizzas in like Walmart or whatever. Right? And my brothers would actually take a Jack's pizza, fold it over so that they were like touching the crust on either side, and then they would eat it like a sandwich. So anything, basically anything can be a sandwich if you try hard enough. That's my take. There's like a Canadian version of that argument as well, and it's like a chicken sandwich versus a chicken burger. And if you have a like a chicken breast or whatever on a bun, it's a chicken burger apparently. I have no fucking idea. But apparently it's a real discussion up north, so... And I'm just like, really? Well, it's better than what a lot of people fight about, I guess. Okay. This thing is gonna just get worse and worse for me. Please back up. Please back up. I can crit you, but I can't make you back up. This might be brutal. That has a chance to disarm, and it didn't, of course. Fuck me. I'm trying to disarm him. Again, did not work. Maybe the disarm does not work on bosses, unless it works only after they attack me. I don't know. The woman I used that disarms with the purple, she actually can work her magic without it being after, but it doesn't always work. Disarm is more like a chance, so... Yeah. Which is too bad. Because we might get pasted into the pavement here. While I'm hurting it, you can tell because it has shorter and shorter periods between when it can hit me and when it can't, so... Okay, one more, and then I think my thing is gonna kick in when I have the revive, and if that is the case, I got revived just in fucking time. Yup. I got revived just in time, Shelpers. It is a full revive too, so... Okay. I barely would not have made it without the overkill. Or the revive. Fuck you, fucking Chimera bitch. Now I can't, hoist myself back up to fight the fucking demon, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh wait, we're not even done with the floors. Oh no. Oh no. This is the... Okay. We might not win this. We might not win this. I was like, yes! And then the game's like, you didn't look at the floor number. Oh, fuck me running. Well, we'll be fine. Okay, I don't need that because I revived, so... Okay, one more for the road. Reroll. Yeah, let's do a ×2. We need every bit of extra damage we can get right now. Fuck me twice. Okay, who is it? Oh, fuck. Okay. We're gonna give this our best try. I guess we'll try the... Okay, we froze them. Hopefully it'll start over. It did not. Only freezing them like right before they hit me, I think, works. Oh, this is gonna be brutal. But we're trying the best we can. I don't know if I don't get this done, if I should try to do this on my own or if I should wait till next time to... You know, go through it. I don't want to do it necessarily off stream, but also I don't want to subject you all to something you've seen before, so... Okay, there we go. More damage. But unfortunately, I'm trying to get like the damage to stack up. So I'm trying to get stuff like the doves and stuff on him where he has the ability to... Don't hit me. Okay, so it did disarm him when I hit him with the garlic right as he was gonna smack me. Okay, that is great to know. Okay, now we get these birds going because they will damage him more. Knockback, let's hope that works. Nope, didn't. Ow. I'm trying. I'm trying. Well, he ain't gonna hit me this time. He looks like he's trying in place. He's like, you took me away from my Stairmaster, now I have no choice. Starts walking in places, he's beating me up. One of the things I don't understand about like the way they animate fighting game characters is they have the fighting game characters like doing all these like huge movements over and over again as they're waiting to like battle. And it's like, I know that could like make you like warm up before a fight, but if they're in the corner doing that for an hour, they're gonna tear themselves up before anything happens. It's like, are you sure you want to do this, Dwight? Dwight's like, shut up, I need this, it's my pre-game ritual. Like, okay, Dwight, it's fine. Oof, I don't know if we're gonna get this one. I'm not having a great amount of faith right now. 22 is gonna hurt. I know I can take 6 of it away, but... And the not only does it with the encounter, like gives you stuff during the encounter, so... Yeah, my knockback only works after a certain point. Okay, that one did, thank Christ. Okay, they're gonna heal up or get a lot of armor for this turn, so I am hoping that everything kind of just keeps weighing on him, to be honest. Like his guilt. Okay. This ain't looking good. Oh, Shelpers. Why does it have to be like this? Knock back. Please knock back. Fuck. I am trying to, like I said, get a lot of birds and stuff so that he gets damage over time. I'm hoping against hope it matters. It's not looking good. Like I said, if I can keep damaging him. Like, there are a lot of birds up there. I have a whole aviary going on. But I'm not sure if it's going to lead to anything. Oof. I don't have knockback on any one of these, so... yeah. One or two more times and I'm pretty much boned. Dang it. He's getting close to dead, that's why he only has the 5, but... fuck. I was hoping to knock him the fuck back. Okay. Crit. Okay, let's knock him back, hopefully. Nope, didn't do it. Please kill him, birds, please. And one more time and I'm dead. Oh, fuck me. I should have probably waited, huh? Oh, fuck me twice. I would have been able to survive more. Then again, maybe I have one more hit in me. Okay. Please. Please, game. I'm trying so hard, game. Okay. I'm not gonna be able to win this one unless he gets knocked back. Or dies. Dies is good too. Dies is good? Yes! Yes! By the fucking pubes in my underpants! I fucking managed it. Barely. Barely. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god. I don't know if you all know just how dead I was. That was the last turn. That was the last turn. I'm gonna get this even though I don't think I can use it or need it, but I'm gonna get it anyway. Yep, I can't fight him because I already used my revive, but oh my god, that was lucky as fuck. I will take that scummy win. I will take that and run with it. Alright, Shelpers. It's pretty much time to say goodbye. I appreciate you lurking or talking or whatever. I'm going to tell you again that Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time, the video for the games coverage for the Summer Games will be up on the YouTube channel. So I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope that you get to enjoy yourselves or at least stay safe from the fireworks. Remember, be careful with those things. They are fire hazards. They can blow your fingers off. So please, if you're going to play with them, be very careful. Do it in an area that doesn't have a fire risk because of wind and not having enough rain, all that kind of stuff. You know, you're responsible. I trust ya. But you just take care of yourselves, and I will see you probably later next week, like Wednesday, Thursday-ish. Okay? Bye.